Troy in 2004. He's 41 years old here, so you have to take that into account in terms of him being 5 years older than he was in Fight Club, so it's going to be a bit harder to pack on size while remaining lean. But with that being said, Brad Pitt's genetics are insane as far as metabolism goes, so for him, he was able to stay relatively lean despite bulking up a little bit. So the difference, though, this is a 5-year time frame here, and he's not significantly bigger. There's a lot of people that say he was 185 pounds in this role with a similar body fat than what he had in Fight Club, where he was, a lot of people say 160. What I could find was the 70 kilogram statistic, about 155-ish. And in Troy, he does not look like he's packed on 30 pounds of lean weight. If anything, he looks maybe 10 to 15 pounds heavier at most, and that might even be generous. How much of that is actual contractile tissue, though, despite the fact that he has what appears to be a darker tan and a bit heavier downlighting in Fight Club. Obviously, they went out of their way to try and achieve the optimal scenario in Troy as well, and here he just certainly does not look 25 pounds heavier. Like I mentioned, he'd probably be closer to 10 to 15 pounds heavier at most, and that might even be generous. And I think maybe 5 of those is actual muscle, with the rest being intramuscular water, glycogen retention. It's hard to say exactly, but it's certainly not 30 lean pounds. It's probably just him eating a higher calorie allotment per day and holding closer to what appears to be 170, 175 pounds at most. And of that weight, how much is actual lean tissue? I wouldn't say it's over 10 pounds. It's probably 5 to 7 pounds at most. And he's still lean. Don't get me wrong. He's very, very lean in this role still and is in the single digits. The downlighting is less complementary to his physique, so it's making him appear smaller in the shirtless scene, in my opinion. But you can still see the ab cuts. They're there. He has a bit more mass on the chest and the arms, maybe. But even that is arguable, to be honest. Like in Fight Club, there are scenes of him in that, the circle of fighters where he looks like a rail pretty much. But the scene in the apartment where he has really favorable lighting circumstances, he looks pretty close to what he is in Troy, with maybe 5 to 7 pounds less muscle at most. And that might even be generous, to be honest. I think it's probably, he might be a few percent higher in body fat, maybe just a couple. Maybe he's like 6% in Fight Club, he's like 8% in Troy. It's kind of tough to say based on the limited footage we have to refer to and the lighting circumstances being completely different, but he's not a whole lot bigger. So is this indicative of natural progression? I think so. He has, 5 years to pack on. Like, even if he did 1 lean pound a year, this is pretty much what you can see in this transformation from the 5-year difference. And a little bit of that weight, I think, is just like intracellular water, to be honest. I don't think he's holding, certainly not 20 plus pounds. He's maybe, like I said, 10 to 15 pounds more in weight. And some of that's going to be temporary weight. That's not actual contractile tissue, like I mentioned. So I think that is definitely supported naturally. I don't think he used exogenous anabolics to achieve this transformation from Fight Club to Troy. And then moving forward to Fury, like I mentioned, I